Okay, I picked up some sausage at a discount food store local to me, and the only reason I decided to buy it was actually the price went down to $2.99 for a 10-pound case. Um, the product I actually picked up was is a chicken sausage, and I think it's normally packaged for retail commercial use, like in restaurants and hotels and other types of kitchens. But the problem is that if you look at the sausage, it actually you can see the greenish stuff in there and the yellow. I think it's the green is actually chili, and there's red chili and green chili, and the yellowish stuff I believe is actually they add cheese to it. But uh, I tried it just plain, and the reality is I thought it was pretty horrible tasting as it was. It's too salty. Maybe has a little bit more pepper. It's not hot, but it has more pepper flavor than I'm used to in a sausage. So I was kind of thinking about it, and after a while, I figured that even though it isn't really a good tasting sausage, it kind of tastes like what an ingredient or something you'd put in chili. So the reality is what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make use it to make chili and reserve some of it for later. But what I did is I actually took all the leftover sausage I actually had, and I ground it up. I decided to just grind it up so that I could actually utilize it in sausage. And so what I'm doing here is actually I have about possibly 2 to 3 pounds of the sausage that I had, which is, like I say, chicken chili sausage, and that's actually mixed with approximately equal parts of cheap 73 I don't know, 73 20 27 hamburger, which is obviously cheap and maybe a little bit greasy when you cook it, or after you cook it. But I guess since it's all going into chili, it's kind of doesn't really matter. I'll get rid of the grease, drain it off anyway, and then I do need a little bit of grease when I cook up some of the other stuff, like I'm gonna add onions and peppers and so forth to it. So I just this is just a introduction to what I'm going to start doing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just mix up this hamburger and chili sausage that I have, and then I'm going to fry it up, and that's going to be the base for my the chili that I'm going to make. And I'm probably going to just start it out and see what I get for no bean chili, and reserve or take some of that out before adding any of the beans. And then ultimately everything is that I'm not going to eat within a week is going to go into I'm going to can. So this is kind of, like I say, just basically an introduction to what I'm going to be doing, and that is making a large batch of chili. This is actually the pot I'm going to use. After I get some of the ingredients in there, I'll probably just set it up as a double boiler, so it's not this thin stainless steel is not actually directly on the heat, but the heat is generated through to it via another pot that has water in it, and then then I can cook it and reduce it down a little bit before I have to complete it. And so I'll be back. I guess I'm just gonna start frying it. And if you don't know how to fry hamburger, I guess there's nothing I can do to help you. But I'll be back when I start making the chili. Okay, on with the cooking process. So I got the seasoned meat cooked, and I drained it, and tasted it to make sure that it was suitable for my chili. And the reality is that in most cases, that obviously if you cut the salt down and the other seasonings by doubling the quantity, it's going to taste like it's going to taste half as strong. So obviously, I think that the sausage that I actually bought was possibly a production defect where they may have added too much seasoning to the mix, because if it was actually less, like this tastes, it actually tastes really good, and be a good base for the chili that I'm actually going to make. But I guess that's all I have to say about that. But I what I have here is about I'm guessing about maybe 5 pounds of ground meat, and I've already added probably about 2 diced onions to it. And what you can see here is I'm going to add like an additional 1 onion, and about I think 3 to 4 different peppers, yellow peppers and green peppers that I had in the refrigerator. And all I'm going to do with that is kind of cook them a little bit so that they're not necessarily raw, but maybe a little bit sweated. But I don't have to cook them until they're completely soft, because obviously I'm going to put other things in there after I'm done. So essentially what I'm going to do from now is I'm just going to turn the heat back on, and I'm going to cook my meat with my other ingredients, the onions and the peppers. And then once that's done for a while, I'll be back and add the rest of the ingredients outside of the beans, and then let that cook for a while before sampling and adding any beans and canning. So I'll be back. Okay, I've had the chili in their double boiler for a while now, and it's getting cooked, or the veggies are getting cooked, or the peppers and onions are getting cooked, and it's reducing a little bit. So I'm almost to the point where I'm going to add the final ingredients, which should be the beans that I'm going to add to it. I decided I'm not going to try to reserve some as no bean chili, because I got so many cans of it already. So all I have left to do is add the beans, and I'll be back to kind of explain or show you the beans that I'm going to add to it. Okay, the chili beans. I'm actually going to add 3 different kinds of chili beans. I'm going to add black beans, I'm going to add pinto beans, and I'm going to add white chili beans, because that's what I have laying around that I need to use up. So in my case, I'm going to drain all the beans I have. I actually have 3 cans of each one of the beans that I'm actually going to add to the chili. But like I say, I'm going to drain all of them, because for the same reason that I actually cooked the chicken sausage with beef, is basically to reduce the flavor. But in the case of the beans, this juice might be acceptable in the chili, but overall it basically just would decrease the seasoning or the spice or the flavor in it, which I would then have to accommodate or take care of by adding more spices. So, like I said, I was going to add, what I'm going to actually add is I'm going to add chili powder and cumin and a bit of oregano. And, depending on how it tastes, I might add a little bit of cayenne pepper. But, like I say, most of the cans of stuff that I added to it and the sausage itself were, had peppers in them, chili peppers and red peppers and the diced tomatoes and so forth. So those added a lot of flavor and seasoning to the chili to begin with before adding any additional spices. So after I rinse and add the beans, I'll let it cook for a little bit longer, and then I'll basically adjust the seasoning at that point. And then, I'll eat some, and then I'll can some. So, like I say, I'm going to basically rinse the beans, and then I'll basically adjust the seasoning as I go. But if in the time being, I'm probably going to let the chili without the beans cook a little bit longer and let the beans drain in the sink until I decide to add them. Chili that I got canned, I did 7 jars because that's what the canner holds. Pressure cooked at 10 pounds for 90 minutes. And I just took it out of the pressure cooker and I'm letting it cool off as we speak. Okay, I got done canning all the chili that I made yesterday. Ended up with about 3 gallons. I ate a quart yesterday, and I think I canned about 2.5 gallons more. Most of it is already put away. When I open a can, it would be a quart, and after I quit cooking the chili, the green peppers may have been a little bit al dente or undercooked, but obviously when I put these in the jars and put it in the pressure cooker for 90 minutes, I can pretty much say that all the veggies are done. I purposely underfilled this can or jar and put it in the canner to use it for showing what it looks like in the bowl, but essentially it was sealed, it was cooked under pressure for 90 minutes, and you can hear that it actually did seal. So if I had any more than this, it actually might be more than they could actually put into the my bowl, but I need a spoon to do the rest of that. But essentially, this is what it turned out like. Very dense, which was just fine with me. If I decide I want it less dense or something for some reason, I would just add a little bit of water before heating it up, just like you do with condensed soup. Otherwise, everything's well cooked and tastes like I would want chili to taste. But this is it. This is what I ended up with is just a heavy chili. I've seen, there was people that actually showed that they put their chili on spaghetti noodles, and so the consistency of this chili actually would make it ideal for putting on top of a spaghetti, like in place of pasta sauce, and it would taste just fine. But anyway, this is what I ended up with. It tastes great to me, and I basically have enough jars to last me throughout the year. But when I open one jar, I can pretty much eat a quart of chili at a time. So, but anyway, thanks for your time, and look forward to seeing you on my next video.